Hi and welcome to this short introduction video to my new application for Android. The application is called MyMir and it's made to read mangas. When you first open up the application, what you get is a favorite view. In this view, you can see all of this series which you have added as a favorite. If you want to browse other series, you can press the view all button and it will download the entire list and display it to you. And this on a normal device takes about 4 seconds. On a emulator like this it varies. Sometimes it takes 4 to 5 seconds, sometimes it takes up to 30. Depends on the emulator, but this one's surprisingly quick. And here I can see every series which is available, and this data is downloaded from manga.com. This application would not have been possible without that website. Let's for instance enter, let's say, some random series here, and not all of them do work. The program still has some glitches, but mostly every series actually works. And most of those who doesn't work are those who are been taken down from the website but still shown in the list because of the cleanup that they have at onemanga.com at this time. Hopefully they will remove the removed series from the list when they're done with their cleanup work, and also I should implement the check to see whether or not the series is actually available before showing it in the list, but it will be added a bit later. But as of now, I can enter a series like this and scroll up and down in the list, and I can start to read if I want to. If I press the menu button, I can choose to add this as a favorite. I can delete every local data. That currently means what's in the database, because I haven't downloaded and showed any images yet except for this image here. Or I could refresh. This is useful for when you open a series which you've added 5 weeks ago and there's like 3 new chapters since then. They won't show because once you reopen it's only loaded from the database. So if you refresh, then it's re-downloaded and not just loaded from the local database on the device. If I add this as a favorite and then go back and then back to the favorite list, here it pops up and I can see it as one of my favorites. Now if I begin to read, let's start reading the first chapters. And opening a new chapter takes a small amount of time because first it has to download the actual chapter in page list, and then it has to download the first page. As you can see, when you have the device in portrait mode, it normally it will actually this is different from normal series because the image here is really long and thin. In normal, when you have a portrait mode, it will fit the image from top to bottom of the screen, so you can scroll sideways. It's caused because this is the closest fit, but in this image, which is really small, it's actually fitting it so that you can scroll down. And also, I can zoom if I double tap. And now of course I can scroll both ways. And if I double tap again, it will zoom out. Like that. And one more thing, and this is new in this version. If I press for about a second, I get up this menu where I can select the page For instance, if I want to jump to page 20, I can do that just as simple as that. And of course, I can read this normally and zoom out. And if I now try to switch the orientation of the device, the application is primarily made for reading in landscape mode, but it works in portrait too. Sorry. As you can see, the image fits much better in orientation. Well, let's exit the reading for now. I still have some features to show. And let's go back to portrait because it's better to view most of the application in portrait. Let's exit this. Now you see this series has gotten red text. That means that I haven't read the last page yet. Simple as that. I started at the beginning and I haven't made it way, so basically red means you still have something to read. And if I go to the last chapter, or here I can press last read, which will jump to the page which I viewed last. If I go to chapter 28 and wait for it to load, and as I said, normally on the device this will be quicker. And then I jump to the last page. And then I click next. Oh, I haven't said that. Previous is 20% of the screen at the left edge. If you tap the 20% left edge, then you go to the previous page, and next is 20% at the right. So if I click here, and same goes for landscape mode, if I click here, that means next page. And now there isn't any next page, so it will just bring me back to this menu. And if I now go back, it isn't red anymore. And also, if it has been updated, like for instance, if I added this 5 weeks ago and there has been a new chapters coming out, and now I can click refresh, which instantly refreshes all of the series in the favorite view. And if any of these has been updated since last time I went and viewed them, but I don't think any of these have, so I'm not sure I'd be able to actually show you that. But if any of these has been updated, it will show in green, like this one showed in red. And updating all in the list takes quite an amount of time because it has to download them each and every one in the sequel and parse every web page for every one of them, which is kind of heavy. So it takes a lot of process. But as said, there isn't any updates here, so none of them turn green. And if you enter the green one and then just go back without reading, it will turn red, telling you that you haven't read the last pages. So green just means updated and red means unfinished, basically. Also, you can search within the series, which is more or less just like browse. It isn't actually search, it's more filter. So when this page loads again, it's just like the view all. You'll see that I can, for instance, very easily find a series that I'm looking for if I know it by name already.